Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Hi, hello, how are you doing? How has your week been? So as you can see, different setup. I am visiting my parents in Arizona for Thanksgiving. And this week we went and saw Hunger Games, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. And I have a lot of thoughts. So I originally rated this book 4 stars when I read it. I think it was back in my freshman year at Baylor, so I guess like 3 years ago, I read the book for the first time and I rated it 4 stars. And I remember explicitly telling my mom it was a good book. I just did not like how it tried to give Snow a reasoning for the way that he acted towards everybody and the way that he treated people terribly. And I still feel that way because now people are loving Snow, like from the movie, and it's like, he's literally like the worst person in the series, and now you're like in love with him. I do think that the movie was good. Do I recommend seeing it? Yes. But I will say there were several pieces that I felt were missing from the movie. Like the buildup before the games started just wasn't enough. Like I didn't fully feel attached to the characters like I did when the games started in the books versus when they started in the movies. By the way, if you haven't either read The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes or haven't seen the movie and are planning on doing either of those, maybe you should watch this video. They completely glazed over the Clemencia storyline and like didn't really go in depth into the times when Coriolanus got hurt, which I think it is actually hilarious, like the amount of people that just like read his name wrong. And now I don't know how to say her name because they actually never named her in the movie. Like Lysistrata, there's a bee outside my window. The mentor for the other District 12 tribute, Jessup, they never named her. And I felt like we were missing that dynamic between her and Coriolanus and like the way that she counteracted Livia and how hard it was for her to aid in Jessup's death because she started getting attached to him because he saved her life. You did not see that at all. I made this comment to my parents on the way home. I was like, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes is twice as long as any of the original Hunger Games books. And they stretched out Mockingjay to make 2 movies. And then they crammed this book that's twice as long as any of the other books into 1 movie. And so, I mean, they're bound to like leave out a lot of the stuff. One of the biggest things for me was the missing like build up before the game started because of like the disgusting things that happened. I felt like you were able to, like with the movie, you were able to sympathize with the Capitol people a little bit more because the incredibly disgusting things that happened in the book didn't happen. Which, I mean, I guess like the funeral scenes probably would have not gone over well, which is why they didn't include them. But I felt like that really created a disconnect between her ability to really understand just how nasty the Capitol people were. And even then, we didn't even really get to see that much of Snow and Lucy Gray in District 12. They were there for like 2 seconds. They did not emphasize the names of the people, of the characters, as much as I would have hoped they would. The connections that these people are the ancestors of people of prominence in the Capitol and the Hunger Games. Like the fact that where they were most of the time was Heavensbee, hilarious Heavensbee, like Hall, like obviously related to Plutarch Heavensbee, but like completely glazed over. Like Arachne Crane, obviously related in somehow to Seneca Crane, who was the head game maker in the first Hunger Games book. Just completely glazed over that. The fact that we did not get Coriolanus's inner monologue talking about who he's going to marry and why, just, we were robbed of that. And I think that that really like solidifies like who he is, like at his core. The line where Lucy Gray asks him who the third person is, and he's like, my old self. That was pretty hilarious. I had seen some like out of context like memes of that, like, comparing him to like, look what you made me do, when Taylor's like, the old Taylor can't come to the phone right now because she's dead. Like, and I was so confused, but now I can laugh along. That was pretty cringy right there a little bit. The relationship that Coriolanus formed with the Plinths after he had a direct hand in killing their only child, Sejanus. Are you kidding me? Like, I feel like they really just kind of glazed over or completely left out some big indicators as to exactly the kind of person that Snow was turning into. I feel like the significance of Tigris saying that Snow looked exactly like his father, like right near the end of the movie, was kind of lost, because throughout the books there was no indicators of really who his dad was to him, other than like he didn't really know him that well and he was a war hero. Like, there really wasn't anything that would back up the reasoning as to why that particular line would mean that much. It kind of just got lost. The thing that upset me the most about this movie was that the fact at the end, when he poisons Dean Highbottom, that he only poisoned Dean Highbottom. Because, like, honestly, let me check. So I started rereading this book, which is why most of the things I said about things that were missing comes from like the first half of the book, because that was how far I got before I went and saw the movie. Okay, it seems I was wrong, and that the ending of the movie was exactly like the ending of the book. But for some reason, I was so convinced that the ending of the book, he had killed Dean Highbottom by doing the thing that he's known for in the Hunger Games books, the original trilogy, which is poisoning both glasses so that no one's suspicious when he poisons them. And for some reason, I had a distinct memory that that was how he killed Dean Highbottom. And that was like significant because it was the first time he'd ever done that. But now I realize I completely made it up. Well, so I guess the thing that annoyed me the most about the movie wasn't even real. So those are my thoughts on The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. It was a really good movie though. I highly recommend. I really enjoyed it. Anyways, guys, that is all I have for you today. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you're feeling up to it. I hope you have a great rest of your week, and I will see you guys next time.